FPL GW22 transfer plans. What is up everyone, how's it going? Hope you're keeping well and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. We're over halfway through GW21 at the moment, so there's still a lot of football to be played, but in this video I'll be showing you my GW22 transfer plans. We also have some confirmed double game week news along with some potential blank game week and double game week news, so stick around for this video where I'll be chatting through all of this. If you are enjoying the content so far this season, please give the video a like, drop a comment below, and if you are watching this video and you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button below. We also passed 250k views on the channel, so if you're a regular viewer of my videos or if this is the first time you're watching myself, I just want to thank you all for the support. The channel has come a long way this season, so thanks again for the support, I really do appreciate it. Right then, that's the intro out of the way, let's get into the video. So halfway through game week 21, here's how I'm shaping up so far. 26 points of the game week with 3 out of my 5 players all returning. Palmer, Anthony Gordon and Pedro Porro, the main returners this week. Palmer of course got that double digit haul after he scored from the spot against Fulham. It was between Palmer and Saka for the armband. I went with Saka, so I'll really be hoping Saka can get himself a return or potentially match Palmer with that double digit haul on Saturday afternoon. An Arsenal clean sheet for my double defence will be absolutely massive in the hopes of me getting a green hour this week, so fingers crossed I can get that Arsenal clean sheet against Palace on Saturday afternoon. Going back to that Newcastle and Man City game, it was a decent one for my own team, with Anthony Gordon come away with a goal and 7 points. Unfortunately, Phil Foden couldn't return, so he drew a blank, but at least Alvarez wasn't able to return as I didn't own him, and yeah, I was lucky, he could have scored on a few occasions, so I was happy for him to come away with the blank. Ollie Watkins drew a blank and picked up a yellow card away to Everton for a disappointing return, but he's so high owned at the moment, any return from him wouldn't have really affected my rank, so I wasn't too fussed on a blank. Pedro Porro continued to prove how valuable he is as an FPL asset, picking up an assist away to Man United and coming away with 2 bonus points even after conceding twice, so yeah, he's an absolute machine. Halfway through game week 21, so we're on 26 points, all eyes on the Emirates on Saturday afternoon, fingers crossed for a Saka haul and an Arsenal clean sheet, and we'll potentially be on our way to a green arrow this week. If there's only one takeaway you come away with after watching this video, all I can say is absolutely at a must, hold your transfers. The period between game week 21 and game week 22 is absolutely crucial for information that we'll receive on future potential double game weeks and blank game weeks, so yeah, absolutely hold your transfers until just before the game week 22 deadline. So starting off with the potential double game week and blank game week news, the period between game week 21 and game week 22 will see Liverpool and Chelsea play their second semi-finals in the EFL Cup. If Liverpool and Chelsea win their semi-finals and reach the EFL Cup final, the final will take place in game week 26, so that means Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs and Luton will blank in game week 26 as a result of Chelsea and Liverpool playing in the EFL Cup final. This will see some very popular FPL assets in Cole Palmer, Mo Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Heung-min Son, Richarlison and Pedro Porro all blank in that game week. So starting off, this is the first reason why saving your transfer until just before the game week 22 deadline is an absolute must, as after the EFL Cup games we'll have a clear indication on who's going to be playing in game week 26 and who's going to be blanking, and we can plan our transfers around this information. Looking at some potential double game week news, another reason why you should save your free transfer is that if Luton win their FA Cup 4th round tie or Liverpool win their 4th round FA Cup tie, along with Liverpool beating Fulham in the EFL Cup semi-final, we should see Liverpool and Luton having a double game week in game week 25. As we all know already, Man City and Brentford have a confirmed double game week in game week 25, so with Liverpool and Man City potentially doubling together, there'll be a lot of triple captaincy chips played that week. The question is whether it's going to be Mo Salah or Erling Haaland that gets the triple captaincy chip. If all these scenarios come in and Liverpool reach that EFL Cup final in game week 26, if they do double in game week 25, we could see a lot of free hit chips being played also in game week 26, as people will be stocking up on Liverpool players for game week 25 and then they'll all blank in game week 26. With West Ham getting knocked out of the FA Cup this week, we should get some concrete information on some of the teams that could be playing in blank game week 29 ahead of the game week 22 deadline. Chelsea versus Aston Villa face each other in the FA Cup 4th round tie, and if Chelsea beat Aston Villa versus West Ham will be a confirmed fixture in blank game week 29, and if Aston Villa beat Chelsea, Chelsea versus Arsenal will be a confirmed fixture in blank game week 29. There are a lot of popular FPL assets throughout all of these teams, so definitely wait until after these games and we'll wait the information on who's going to be playing in those blank game weeks. Another reason why you should be saving your transfers until just before the game week 22 deadline is the injury updates on Erling Haaland and Trent Alexander-Arnold we should get in the press conferences before the deadline. I'll chat about the Erling Haaland update later on in this video, and Trent Alexander-Arnold is scheduled to be back for the Chelsea game in Game Week 22, but we'll have to wait and see what Klopp says before the deadline. It's an absolute must to wait for this information, so I definitely advise on saving your transfers. To finish off then, the African Cup of Nations and the Asian Cup group games and most of the round of 16 games will all be played ahead of the Game Week 22 deadline. One man in particular and one team most FPL managers will all be looking at is Egypt, to see if they can get through out of the group. At the moment, they did draw the first game at the time of this recording, but if they do get to the round of 16 games and they do get knocked out, there's a big chance Mo Salah can play in Game Week 22. This will obviously affect my transfer plans ahead of the Game Week 22 deadline, so yeah, we'll have to wait for results there and see if Egypt progress in the tournament or they get knocked out. With 13 days to go until the Game Week 22, and with some potential information on blank game weeks, double game weeks, injury updates, and whether or not Mo Salah or Heung-min Son are going to be back before the Game Week 22 deadline, I really hope you do stay put and stay away from that transfer button. Looking at an Erling Haaland update, we all know he missed out in Game Week 21 after he suffered a small setback in recovering from his foot injury. Going back to Pep's press conference before the deadline, his quote said that he's fine, he'll restart maybe in Abu Dhabi, and hopefully at the end of the month he'll be ready. Man City face Burnley in Game Week 22, so all eyes will be on Pep's press conference ahead of the Game Week 22 deadline to see if Haaland will be fit or not for that game, as obviously he's going to be the standout captain pick if he is fit. On the subject of strikers, Ivan Toney has returned from his betting ban and he can get back into that Brentford team, and with Brentford getting knocked out of the FA Cup this week, they will face Burnley in blank Game Week 29, so this means Brentford have a double game week in Game Week 25, have no blank in Game Week 26 with other teams playing in the EFL Cup final, then have two normal game weeks in Game Week 27 and Game Week 28, and then they'll definitely play in Game Week 29. 5 fixtures in a row for Brentford will see Ivan Toney becoming a very popular asset over the next couple of game weeks, and he'll more than likely be coming into my team for that double game week in Game Week 25. So looking at my current lineup ahead of Game Week 22, we're not in too bad a shape at the moment. I am pretty happy with the team. I've got one free transfer to use. The only thing that doesn't sit right with me at the moment is that I only have one City attacker for that Burnley fixture at home in Game Week 22. At the time of this recording, Arsenal still have to play Crystal Palace in that early kickoff on Saturday afternoon. At the moment, they've only got one clean sheet in their last 7 games, so it's not the greatest stat as a double Arsenal defensive owner. So hopefully they can get that clean sheet against Crystal Palace, and if they don't, I may be forced into a defensive transfer ahead of Game Week 22, taking out one of my Arsenal defenders and bringing in potentially Kyle Walker with that double game week for City in Game Week 25. Looking at captaincy, it's currently on Phil Foden at the moment with that home fixture for Man City against Burnley. Foden was fairly unlucky not to return against Newcastle in Game Week 21, but I need to attack that Burnley fixture, so whether it be Foden or another City attacker, we'll have to wait and see what Pep says in his press conference before the deadline. So looking at my transfer plans ahead of Game Week 22, a big part of my transfer plans is whether or not Liverpool do get that double game week in Game Week 25. With Man City already doubling and Liverpool potentially doubling, I only have Mo Salah and Phil Foden from Man City and Liverpool, so one of my transfers ahead of Game Week 22 will definitely be getting in a City attacker or a Liverpool player also. Looking ahead to the potential blank game week in Game Week 26 with that EFL Cup final, I'm lucky enough to have only 3 players in my team at the moment who'll be blanking that week in Poro, Mo Salah and Cole Palmer. If Liverpool do get that double game week in Game Week 25, I'll definitely be bringing Trent Alexander-Arnold back into my team and maybe even potentially bringing in a Liverpool attacker for the double game week. That will leave me with 5 or 6 potential blanks in that blank Game Week 26, so I may be pushed into using my free hit in Game Week 26, especially as a double Arsenal defensive owner with Arsenal playing Newcastle in that game week. We'll all be eagerly awaiting that Erling Haaland injury update ahead of the Game Week 22 deadline, and if it sounds like Haaland is going to start that Burnley game at home in Game Week 22, I'll be taking out one of Watkins or Solanke and bringing in Haaland and giving him the armband. If it sounds like Haaland is going to be sidelined for a few more weeks, it raises the question if I should be bringing De Bruyne into the team with his cameo appearance against Newcastle where he scored a goal and an assist. It all depends on what Pep says in his press conference, so we'll have to wait then, but that's my transfer plans as of now. But as I said throughout the video, definitely hold your transfers until we get all the information on the blanks and the potential double game weeks. So that's my transfer plans ahead of the Game Week 22 deadline. We still have a lot of information to digest ahead of the Game Week 22 deadline, so as I said throughout this video, hold firm on your transfers for now. If you've made it to the end of this video, please give it a like, drop a comment below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's hit a like goal of 80 likes on this video. If you are still watching this video and you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button below. It really does help the channel and I really would appreciate the support. If any of you watching would like to become a member of this YouTube channel, take a look in the description below, have a look at the different tiers on offer, and if you would like to become a member and support the channel, I really would appreciate it. I'm off to Italy early in the morning to go skiing until Monday, so hopefully I'll be able to celebrate a Saka captaincy haul on the slopes. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next video.